खारगे जी को नाम हमने किया है कि हर लोग पूछता है एक फेस तो चाहिए, तुम्हारा फेस कौन है। तो इसी के लिए हम एक प्रपोजल दिया था कि खारगे जी को होना चाहिए। खारगे जी अगर फेस होगा तो ठीक है।
जीत के लिए क्या करना उसके बारे में हम सोचे। कौन प्राइम मिनिस्टर बनना ये बाद में की बात है। एमपीज अगर नहीं है तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर की बात करके क्या फायदा है।
Well, there's a lot of debate and discussion about who should be the Prime Minister's face to take on Prime Minister Narendra Modi for 2024. Well, what was in a sense discussed inside the India Front meeting was Mallikarjun Kharge. That name was put forward by both Mamata Banerjee as well as the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. No unanimity there, no consensus. In fact, many other leaders like Uddhav Thackeray of the Shiv Sena, Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad Yadav said that we cannot decide on a PM face in a hurry. There has to be a debate and discussion on this, and the priority should be seat sharing. But let's focus on why Mallikarjun Kharge. Dalit face, he's a veteran politician, also from down south. Now that is also where the problem begins. Most of the India Front leaders like say Nitish Kumar, the RJD, Akhilesh Yadav, all of them come in from the northern belt. The weakness of the Congress party lies in north of India. Its strength is considered to be in south, where not just its Congress president, but two states where it's in power, in two big states is Telangana as well as Karnataka, which are down south. But is that reason enough why a South Indian can be projected as the PM face? But I think more than the fact which region he belongs from, the calculation of both Mamata Banerjee and Arvind Kejriwal was the Dalit face. The 2024 elections are also going to be fought on the caste census issue. Reservations further for OBCs, for Dalits. How this government is an entitled party and an entitled government which only cares for the corporate sector and for the rich and affluent. The jobless, the backwards, they are not getting adequate opportunity. So that is one googly which was thrown by both the Bengal Chief Minister as well as that of Arvind Kejriwal, that we project a Dalit face to take on the Prime Minister who's an OBC face himself. So you counter that narrative. Second, he's a veteran leader, someone who's also considered to be a quite good orator both in English and Hindi, and someone who has a huge amount of experience, and someone who too comes in from a humble background. Remember, during the hustle and bustle or election campaign during Karnataka, Mallikarjun Kharge would often counter the chaiwala issue of the Prime Minister by saying, from my hand, mere haath se to koi chai bhi nahi peeta tha. To make the point that as a Dalit, he, like many other Dalits, were considered to be untouchable, and therefore he too has faced the wrong end of the stick. As the Prime Minister makes the ridicules he faces from the opposition parties, especially the Congress party, over the fact that he belongs to a humble background, the calculation in some section of the India Front is that will Kharge, as someone who comes in from a humble background and is a Dalit, be able to counter this narrative coming in from the Prime Minister? But the bigger point is that will there be a consensus leave alone among the other opposition parties within the Congress party itself? It is very reminiscent of the times when, if you remember in 2012, when the presidential candidate was being discussed, that point of time Mamata Banerjee had thrown up the name of Dr. Manmohan Singh as a presidential candidate. That had created a flutter. This too has created a flutter, but many think it could be a viable alternative because Kharge belongs to that background which is very similar to that of Prime Minister. At least on this front, the India Front would be able to counter the very strong campaign and narrative coming in from the BJP.